every meetings we start with this disclaimer, which is my disclaimer, which says, you should still go to the doctor, still take your medication, do this wisely. You don't have to choose between natural health and the medicine field. You can combine the two. And it's good for the doctor, especially if you go on a diet, to know that you're on a diet because, or on a weight loss program. So I had to quit using that word diet. But because a lot of times your medicines will change, the amount of medicine you need, or perhaps you can get off the medicine altogether. Okay, we're going to start. I want to introduce everyone to Robin. Robin Cooper is a sweet lady that at first I thought, she's okay. No, I just kidding. But Dick Williams introduced me to her, and because he wanted me to go on this weight loss. And I thought, all right, he was nagging me enough, I'll give it a try.
Thank you. Get this.
What?
Okay, we can hear some background noises. Okay, so Robin helped me go on this program where I lost 61.2 pounds or 61.1 pounds. I can't remember. Well, I'll have it written down. But she's going to tell us a little bit about her story, too. So, Robin, can you take it away?
Yep, I can. Thank you so much, Mary. Yeah, I think I had to grow on Mary for a moment because she was, when we first were introduced, I think it was more of Dick's idea than her idea.
Yeah, it was.
But I'm sure am grateful that I got to cross paths because I've grown to love her and really respect and appreciate her. But I was excited to partner up with her because our program is incredible. And Mary sometimes would call it a diet at first because that's exactly what she was doing. She was going to be just on a diet, and I don't know how much faith she had in the plan because she knew that she'd had some health concerns, and so it was exciting to see her results. But I'll let her share about that, and I'll share about mine. So here's my picture. The girl on the left was really down and depressed. And this was a picture taken in a gym when I had attempted to start moving my body more. I'd actually already dropped 20 pounds on the picture in the left. And so that's not included in my 60-pound loss. That 60-pound loss is just what I did on our program, on our healthy lifestyle that you'll learn about. And I started this plan thinking that I needed to lose weight, and I did. But what I really needed to do was learn to love myself and be okay with myself emotionally, work on some self-love, and the weight just dropped. And the most incredible part was it balanced my hormones, and it balanced just my life. I did not realize that as a mom and a wife, I kind of like run the ship in the household. And if mom isn't happy, it affects everyone. And so as I worked on my health, I had a better outlook on life, a better mindset. I had more energy. And after my first month, my husband even said, I feel like I got my wife back. And so it was incredible. In 5 months, I dropped 60 pounds, a little bit over 5 months, 5 months and 1 week. But the results were predictable, and the weight loss was the simple part. The most challenging part for me was working through my emotions and working on some emotional eating and some triggers in my life that I had never quite worked on, so I would never been able to keep my results. And now I'm happy to say 5 years later, I'm still a girl on the right. In fact, a little bit more toned, actually. I do like to lift weights now. But it's been an incredible journey, and it's been something that, because I chose to get healthier with my body, mind, spirit, it's even helped me financially. It's helped me with my healthy finances, because I decided to become a coach and pay forward the health that I was given. And that truly has been a really big blessing in itself, because all of our health, it goes together. If we're lacking in one area, then it kind of drops us. And so to have that balance within all the areas has been a really big blessing in my life. Mary, is there anything that you want me to add, or is there anything that I didn't share that you would like me to share?
No, but I do want to say this. I want to bring this up. It is a disclaimer. Robin, thank you so much for telling your story. I tell you the truth, the first time I talked to you, it didn't inspire me. Because I thought, well, that's good for you. I'm glad that it worked for you. But I have literally been on a diet since my mom put me on my first diet when I was 7 years old. And I have tried every diet known to man. I thought, good for you, chick. I'm happy for you, but there's no way this is going to work for me. So let's do this disclaimer, because Robin gave her testimony, and I'm going to be giving my testimony. But realize that we're all unique, and we cannot say that you have the exact same outcome. But I consider myself the worst scenario. I have thyroid problems. I have a little tumor in my pituitary gland. I have adrenal exhaustion, and if I can lose weight, I just can't imagine this not working for everyone. But we have to do this disclaimer to stay compliant, okay? Make sure you check with your doctor, which I said about a little bit earlier. Okay, so now we're going to do this a little bit different. And don't anyone have to sign off. You're not going to commit to anything. We're just offering information for you. But I want you to keep in the back of your mind about being a coach. And there's a couple reasons for it. For one thing, I want you to succeed. I don't know everyone that's on here, but I know most of you guys. And I love you guys. We've developed a relationship over these years, and I want the best for you. Well, when you're a coach, you're 5 times more likely to achieve and maintain your weight. 5 times more likely. And if you help 5 people, it'll pay for your program. So you don't have to worry about that. And you know what? Because I know there's a couple people that are natural health and help people here. It's great. It's great to help people get healthier. I mean, I was having the best time last night because one of my people that started this, is already noticing that she's not crashing anymore from low blood sugar imbalances. Then, of course, like Robin said, it can be income, either part-time or I think you go full-time now, don't you, Robin?
Oh, absolutely. I feel like I'm definitely full-time income with part-time hours. I was able to, and granted, I was only kind of working part-time before, but I switched up my part-time job and it quadrupled my income.
Yeah, it can be lucrative. But everyone knows me, I don't sell anything. I suck at it. I just really do. But they have really made this so easy. For one thing, you get a co-coach, which is what Robin is. So she, even though she's in Utah and it's like barely dawn out there compared to Pennsylvania, she is on this thing with me today. And she helps me out a lot. They have everything scripted out. All you do is copy and paste. If another company I was in was this efficient and supportive, it would have gone crazy. It wouldn't be in a bad place that it is right now. And then they give you a lot of education. We'll talk about that later on. Okay, I'm so excited about getting into this part. This is the icing or the cherry on the top. When I started this about 2 years ago during my webinars, I would tell people that my blood sugar was starting to creep up. Well, after the new year, around February or March, it started doing more than creeping. It was taking long strides. The day that I started this program, my blood sugar was 326. Technically, if I wasn't so stubborn, I should have been on insulin. I mean, that's dangerously high for not taking insulin or anything. But I was stubborn. Now, 5 months and 2 weeks later, my blood sugar is 107. And it's been below 110 now for about 2 or 3 months. My blood pressure, I told you my blood pressure was going up. The day that I started this, my blood pressure was 202 over 123. Last night, because I take it at night, was 121 over 78. My heart rate wasn't bad either way. My pH, because we do a lot of classes on pH. Robin's probably thinking, well, who cares about pH? But there's a reason for it, Robin, trust me. But my pH was good before, and although it did fluctuate, because I think I was dumping a lot of old ammonia and old acid, it was going all over the place, it's now pretty stable. I have no inflammation. I no longer have to take parsley to keep from retaining water. I just don't retain water anymore. And I'm off of all of my supplements except for magnesium. That's the only one I take anymore. And this is my weight before, which I'm not going to say yet. Maybe if I lose another 100 pounds, I may say. Right now, 61.2 pounds is what I have lost in 5 months and 2 weeks. I know a lot of people have been with me on the Bodies in Balance, where we had that weight loss group for the last couple of years. Over the last 8 years, I lost 30 pounds. But in the last 5 months, I lost 61 pounds. That's how remarkable this is for me. Before and after, I'm still happy. But I don't need to take, I sleep well during the night, but I used to have to take naps in the afternoon. I haven't taken a nap all week because I don't need it. I feel my energy is really up. I feel absolutely marvelous. I did this for 5 months because I wanted to make sure, you know me, I like to use myself as a guinea pig. I wanted to make sure that you didn't end up growing an extra eye or, you know, something happened to you that was bad. And nothing did. Nothing good happened. The other day, I was scratching my neck and I thought, oh my goodness, there's a lump there. Oh no, don't tell me I'm getting these people on this diet and it's going to cause a tumor. And I thought, well, that's pretty hard. So I felt the other side, and it was hard too. And I realized it was my collarbone. For the first time in who knows how long, I can actually feel my collarbone through all that fat. So this stuff, you feel great. As far as I know, and I can't imagine because Robin's been on for longer than I have, this is healthy. I feel healthier than I ever been. Not that I was horribly sick before. Oh, and I don't even have to take the stuff in my heart anymore. Okay, these are my before pictures. This was taken 5 months and 2 weeks ago. And this was last week. I wore baggy clothes. I wish I had wore tight clothes like Robin did so you can really see. I feel like you can't see everything that I've lost. But if you look here, you can tell that I have like big fat bubbles here. I used to look like I could model for Picasso. I had like double-decker boobs. Well, if you notice, I don't have that anymore. I mean, I'm not skinny, but I lost my extra set of boobs. I just have one set like you're supposed to. So I wore the same shirt, same pants, so you could see that indeed I did really lose. And here's a side view. So this is me before, and this is me 61 pounds after. When I first went on this, a friend of mine that I graduated with said, oh, Mary, no, not at our age. If you wanted to lose weight, you should have done that when you were 30 or maybe 40 at the most, but you're going to end up looking like a prune. Those are exact words. You're going to end up looking like a prune. Well, after 61.2 pounds, this is before, and this is after. I don't think I wrinkled that much. I really don't. And you know what? Even if I did, I don't care. I feel great. I absolutely feel wonderful. And I couldn't imagine feeling better than I did before. But the longer I'm on this, the better I feel. Okay, so this program, as Robin kind of said, balances you all out. A lot of times, whenever you go on a program for weight loss, all you do is you just count calories or you just exercise. You just do a couple things. But what this product does, or this company does, is it balances you all out. The healthy body, the healthy mind, and the healthy finances. The healthy mind is something that's usually missing. And if anybody wants this, you email me, marysherbs1@gmail.com. They have a wonderful video on binge eating or emotional eating, or because I'm an emotional eater. If I'm happy, I eat. I celebrate. If I'm depressed or lonely, I eat. Well, there's a really good webinar. They teach you how to cope with the different things that come along with this. And here's some, they give you a life book, which is like a workbook that you can fill out to see. Like, I thought, oh, okay, I'm okay with this. And after I start checking and they ask the questions, I realized, you know what? I need to work a little bit here, which is something I wouldn't really think about before. So the workbook is really good. And then there's information on how this works and how to change your lifestyle so that you can become healthier. So why should you do this particular lifestyle program? Number one thing is it works. If you notice, for people who don't know me, I am bald because the doctors killed my thyroid, killed my adrenals, like I said earlier. Even through all that, I lost this weight. It still amazes me. Another thing is Forbes magazine gets so many people every year, the companies they think is the most trustworthy. Well, this company won their award 3 times in a row. It's also extremely convenient. One of the many times that I try to lose weight, and by the way, while we're doing this, I hope this works. I want to ask people a question here. You don't have to answer if you don't want to, but there's a question that how many people like me have done more than one diet? One of the times when I dieted, I went to a friend of mine, actually a friend of my mom's, that served or sold Herbalife. And I came home with a bunch of really nasty tasting vitamins and this milkshake. First time the milkshake didn't taste too bad. After doing it for about a month, every time I even flipped that lid to scoop out the stuff that makes the milkshake, I would start to gag. I mean, anything, even cheesecake every day gets tiring. So that was a major deterrent. Also with Nature's Sunshine, I tried they have chai, vanilla, and chocolate shakes. And at the end, I got tired of those too. Well, this company has a huge variety. And they're in individual packets. So you can just throw them in your purse or in a bag or keep them in your glove compartment in your car. I have some by my desk. I can just grab them because you get busy. And they're just really convenient like that. Then you also get a support coach, which would be me or Angie. If anybody who knows Angie, she'll be your support coach. But as a bonus, you get me and you get Robin, because we're all in this together. And a whole network of people, actually. They have a lot of education on Zoom. They have it at least twice a week. And then if you're a coach, they do it, there's like 4 meetings and then one on 2 Saturdays of a month. So there's a lot of education. And what was the last Zoom meeting on? Was it on inflammation or something?
Yeah, they had a special webinar on inflammation, and that was just barely days ago, and it was excellent. So they've talked about, they'll specialize. And honestly, too, we like to listen to clients and just the community, because there's a whole health community. And what are you wanting to learn about? What do you see as a challenge? And so we just will educate about what those want. Really good.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, I don't know how to turn this poll off. I guess I just do that. Well, anyhow, 100% of the people that are here have lost count on how many diets they have done. And that was me too. I couldn't even guess. If you put a gun in my head, I couldn't tell you how many diets I've tried over the years. Okay. Another thing that happened a lot of times when I went on the Atkins diet, of course I tried them all, and the carbohydrate addicts diet. On those two diets, I got very, very depressed. Didn't know that you need a certain amount of carbohydrates to release serotonin, which is a feel-good feel-good neurotransmitter. I hope you can't hear my washer in the background. That's what's taking my train of thought away, because I feel bad that I have that going on in the background.
You can't hear it.
Oh, good. But these little packets that you take, these what they call fuelings, contains vitamins, minerals, so you don't have to take the nasty tasting pills with the Herbalife, and probiotics. They're non-GMO, and the nutrition is tailored to your particular needs. If you want to, leave your name and your phone number, or you can email me or Angie or Joanne or whoever and give your name and your phone number, and we will call you and do a free assessment. Most people I think, would like this. There's one person that had a lot of food restrictions. I mean, almost everything. She could eat like Cheerios. That's probably pretty much all that she could eat. But for most people, the variety is huge. We have 18 different kinds of shakes, 18 pastas like macaroni and cheese and stuff like that, 8 breakfasts, cereals. Some are cold, some are like oatmeal, warm, 2 different kinds of pancakes, 5 desserts, and 14 chips or crackers. So it'd be really hard, even if they had something on back order, it'd be really hard to get bored with that many different variety. So I'm going to show you them real quick. I'm just going to go through them to show you. They had the bars, a bunch of shakes. There's more shakes than that. These aren't in order. They have tomato and herb with little pieces of meat, soups, mashed potatoes with garlic, all these things. These are what I love. I love these crunchy things. Look at all that. Having that in your arsenal, you're not going to get tired of it. You're not going to get to the point that you're going to gag. Love the sour cream and chives. But just look at that. I mean, that's more than just one shake. We do have a way that we can be specific for you. If you have a special diet, like I'm Mormon or Latter-day Saint, I don't drink caffeine. So they have a thing that I can make sure that I have no caffeine. If you have a problem with fish or shellfish, I don't eat fish either. Not a religion, just because our waters are so polluted. If you're Jewish, there's kosher, vegetarian, gluten-free, no peanuts. And again, some of these do contain peanuts, but you can change this and mark it so you don't get those particular things. Wheat, soy, eggs, tree nuts, or whey. And if you have all these, all you can pretty much eat is the Cheerios. But if you don't, you're a good candidate for what we do. And as I said before, everything is non-GMO and natural. Okay, are there any questions?
Yes, someone wants to know if they have gluten-free options, but you just answered that. So just
They do. They do. And these are so well balanced. There's one person that has signed up that had a real whey problem. Had a very bad food intolerance to whey. And I screwed up. It was my first time going solo. Just because I didn't want to bother Robin again, but she said she doesn't care. But I tried to do it on my own, and I forgot to say that she was allergic to whey. And she said, well, I'll try it. These are so well balanced that it is not affecting her. She said, this is the first whey product that I've been able to take that doesn't bother me. And I'm just wondering if it's because it does have probiotics in it. But these are so balanced, it's just amazing. Anyhow, so what you do basically is you buy 5 fuelings a day off of the company. And those are the pictures that I showed you. And then you eat a hunk of meat and vegetables for one meal. So you're eating basically 7 times a day. When my blood sugar was going from 326 down to 107, 2 or 3 times I got a little shaky and hungry. I said, Robin, I'm going to eat a face-off of one of my grandkids or something because I am starving. But that was because I had a major shift. And I noticed the next day, my blood sugar dropped like 50 points. So that happened to me twice. But most of the time, I'm not really hungry because you eat a little bit all the time. My blood sugar never crashes. Okay, as I said, this program is customized just for you. The assessment's free, and we won't call you up and say, hey, you got to do this. I'm not a real pushy person. And Robin's never pushed me either. Encouraged me, but never pushed me. And we would be more than glad to help you decide if this is good for you. And I don't know, Robin, is there anything else you want to say?
I just think that you've said enough. I mean, like, your pictures are incredible, Mary. Your whole transformation has been incredible and you just didn't even have, hope at first. And I just love that I love the energy, and I love the mindset is what I love most. I know that this program shifts. I know the weight loss is just a side effect of these healthy habits that you live. But the mind shift is what I love to watch. And no, I think you did a great job sharing, and the program. One thing about it, there's 4 components that come with this program. You've got the coach, like Mary said. You've got support. You've got the education, like she showed you, and then the community, and the grab and go nutrition. And the thing about the community is that was one thing that I didn't feel like I needed to. You felt like, Mary, the books, but
Mm-hmm.
the community, I didn't appreciate it as much until I reached my goal, my health goal. And then I realized I wanted to continue creating more goals and reaching for more things, just feeling great. And it wasn't anything to do with weight loss. It was to do with other things, other aspects of my health. But the community I've grown to love and appreciate because we're better together. And we're like the people that we're around the most. And so having that encouragement has been great for me to continue to live a healthy lifestyle years later. Because for me, it shifts from the weight loss to just optimal health long term, and just preventing disease, and just ultimately living a life of freedom where you're free to do as you choose. Your body isn't holding you back from playing with grandkids or playing with your kids, or just different things that maybe you can't do now that you could do when you reach your goal. So I have such so much gratitude around all of this, and it's been a blessing. So Mary, I think you've done excellent. And I think if anyone does have any questions, you offer a free health assessment, and Angie does as well. So just, anyone that would be interested can do a free health assessment, and there's never pressure ever. It's just only love, and it's just an offering. And I think that it would be smart for anyone to do a health assessment, because then they can get, there's podcasts, there's weekly emails, there's great recipes. There's a lot of great free resources that are available as well. So,
you know what really, and you were saying about the community, I gathered great hope. One of the first ones that I went to, I didn't even want to go to them, but Robin was saying, well, I'll try it. And I think I was guided to there. I think I was guided to this altogether. I think Dick was inspired, because I was going to die with blood sugars that high, because I was not going to go to the doctor. Don't do that, because it's not good. But I had just had it with them. But there was a lady that was there that worked in a gym. That's what she did for a living. And she was a person who helps other people exercise. And she said she would exercise all day long with her people trying to lose weight. And she knows she was gaining a little bit of weight every year. And she said no matter how much she exercised, she wasn't losing that weight. Then when she went to program, that's when she really lost her weight. And it wasn't the muscle that she lost. It was the fat. So I'm thinking, well, okay, I'm not going to exercise, so I'll just lose fat. Nah. I actually have muscles underneath all that. I feel my back leg muscle, and it feels like a stringy muscle instead of just a ball flab. Because whenever you get into, there's different programs, but in the program that I'm in what they call the 5-in-1. You get in that program, it doesn't burn muscle. You retain muscle. You don't lose muscle. I didn't lose muscle strength. I just lost the fat. So that was very encouraging for me, because I hate to exercise, even though I feel like exercising now. Go figure. But I don't know. I get so tongue-tied because I am so passionate about this. I am so excited about this. I can barely think. This has really, truly given me another passion in my life. Okay, and I'll shut up now. Is there any questions?
There are some. Someone wants to know, could you repeat the lean protein veggies and what you said 5 times a day, please?
Sure. What you do is you buy the food packets from the company, and that's the variety that I showed you. You have 5 of those during the day, if you're on the 5-in-1 program. That's the one I'm on. Then you have I do it for supper, but you can do it for whatever meal you want. I do about 6 ounces of lean protein, hamburger, chicken, turkey, something like that. Can't have pork chops or ham, but I can give that up to feel better. And 3 servings of vegetables. So you only buy in the store 1 meal. And then the other ones you get from the company. And those are the ones that have the vitamins and minerals and the probiotics in it to keep you, that you don't feel weak and tired. A lot of times when someone goes on a diet, they feel like, oh, yeah, I'm on this diet. But man, I am 10 times more energetic than I used to be. And I know I got off. Did I answer that right? I hope so. If not, ask it again.
No, I guess you did. She said thank you. Another question, is this whole food? It sounds like fake artificial in a bag or box.
It is prepared, so pre-prepared foods. So it's not carrots. You don't get carrots from the company. They're in little packets. They're natural. They're made from all natural things. They I don't know, Robin, how would you answer that?
Absolutely. Yeah.
What she means by that.
That was one of my questions too. And what I can say is it's the closest thing to fresh. I mean, there is a shelf life on this food. It's the closest to fresh thing that will be grab and go that you can find. It is so healthy. This is something for those that want health, that want whole meals, that want to be ultimately healthy, but also practical. If you're busy and you grab and go, because the shelf or the meal prep basically is done for you. A lot of the meal prep is done. And so these meals are basically like a vehicle that will create some speed to get to your goal. Basically, it helps you to be able to take you to your goal quicker. And then, yes, when you reach your goal, we'll transition you to all 100% whole fresh foods. That's what I have. But I do utilize these meals still, even though at my goal. I will have one of these, we call them fuelings, because it's like fueling your body. I'll have one every like in between my meals. So just to keep my blood sugars balanced, and I'm not diabetic either, but just to keep my energy efficient, my metabolism efficient. So yes, they're healthy. They're healthy, but yes, have a little bit of a shelf life. They come in some packages, and there are definitely grab and go.
But there's no artificial preservatives in them.
No, there isn't.
It's not like, after the nuclear holocaust, 20 years later, you can still eat them. They have no preservatives and stuff in them.
Yeah. One thing too, I would just want to share another resource that I'm just thinking of that really, really helped me in the beginning, because you brought up pork chops and ham and things. And really, like there's nothing, there's guidelines to follow with the program, but just as life, like we practice and Dr. Anderson teaches this. In fact, there's a free ebook we could send anyone and everyone, this free ebook. It's called Stop, Challenge, Choose. And it teaches you to stop and challenge your thought or challenge your choice. It doesn't need to just be with food. It can be with time management or what you're doing. But challenge yourself. Is this choice going to help me reach my goal? Is this choice, healthy for me? Is this the Last Supper? Is this something that really means something? Basically, that puts you in charge and control, right? We're all the CEOs of our life. And so we just want to take that ownership. And so sometimes we take that moment to challenge ourselves. It creates consciousness. And then we can make a conscious choice. That way, if you decide to have a choice that maybe isn't as healthy, for instance, I'll throw myself under the bus. My grandma makes fudge. And it was Christmas time. I was on plan. And she said, "Do you want this fudge?" And I looked at that fudge and my mouth just started salivating. And I thought, okay, Robin, stop. Okay, challenge myself. Is this the Last Supper? Possibly. I love my grandma. That was her last Christmas. It was her last Christmas. Is this going to help me towards my goals? No. Does this mean something to me? Yes. Emotionally, it did. And I thought, do I want to have this choice? And I did. And I had it. And you know what? I enjoyed every little baby bites. I took baby bites. I chipped on it like a little chipmunk. But you know what? I enjoyed it. And there was no guilt. It wasn't like I lost. I had to start over tomorrow or Monday. It was like that was a choice. I enjoyed every bite of that. And then in 2 to 3 hours, I had another choice, if that makes sense. So you learn how to live. If you wanted to have, you can learn how to navigate through life with choices. And it's not right or wrong, good or bad. It's just a choice that can take you towards your goal or towards ultimate health, and choices that don't. And we all make these choices daily. But it's not the choice that usually hurts us. It's the emotions around it that can cause us to feel guilt, shame, or things, which takes you into the next day, sometimes the next week, sometimes the next month before you start again. So there's so much power around choices. So I just wanted to add that.
Okay, good. And just someone had said something about it sounds like that they're not natural. Well, it's not like you don't go out and you pick these in your yard. It's not like you're eating greens. But, herbs in a capsule, they have been altered. Ultimately, how you feel on something is an indicator for me. Because if I eat junk food, I feel like junk. Now I know why they call it junk food. Because that's exactly what I feel like. I don't feel like that with this. I don't need my herbs, most of my herbs. I still take magnesium. But I don't need most of my stuff. and I feel wonderful. So I don't know exactly everything. Like, there's a lot of controversy about this and that for different people. Like whey, is whey good for you or not? You know what? I feel great on it. I feel absolutely great on it. And that's where the rubber hits the road. Because there's so many times everybody says, oh, you should always eat a lot of this, and then later on they'll come back and say, well, you know what? You shouldn't eat that. There's somebody that just came out with a book who said that garlic and onions are poisons and you shouldn't eat them. But you know what? I like onions and garlic, and that makes me feel healthier. So I can tell you, unscientifically, I think this stuff is great. I do. I put my reputation on it. And the worst that's going to happen to you is you're going to be able to feel your collarbone, because that's the worst that's happened to me. Okay, any other questions?
Yes, someone wants to know if the food is in Mylar bags or something similar.
I have no idea. Are they? I don't even know what a Mylar bag is.
Yeah, I don't really know what a Mylar bag is either.
They're
I'm
individual
assuming she
packets,
means
though.
like a MRE.
Sorry, what?
I'm assuming she means like an MRE.
I don't even know what MRE is.
Meals ready to eat, you know, like what they give you
Oh,
in
yeah.
the military.
Well, they don't taste like military foods. They taste pretty good. Some of them are absolutely. If I'm like, when I get my goal weight, I am going to eat some of this stuff anyhow because it's good. It's really good tasting. But they're not like, they're not bad. They're really not bad.
They come in boxes. They come each, so, you know, with all the variety, it comes in a box with 7 of the meals per box. Some of them are completely grab and go, like you can take it and go like a bar or like a cruncher, like Mary mentioned. Some of them are like a powder that you would add, so for shakes or like this soup, you would add water to. So some of them you can add water to and cook, if that helps answer that.
She said in order to preserve food, it can keep the oxygen out, not like MRE.
Again, you know what? Email me that question, and whenever I post this on Facebook, and I'm going to post it on YouTube, I will call the company, find out the answer to that. Joanne, could you write that word for me so I can find out? And I will let you know. Because, again, I started this thinking it wasn't going to work. Then afterwards, I felt so good and it worked so well, I don't care. They could say they made it out of dog turds, and I don't care because I feel wonderful. I feel wonderful. Well, maybe dog turds. I would draw a line of dog turds. But I will find that answer out for you. Any other questions?
Yes. Well, she was saying I was wondering how it could be shelf safe and stable without a bunch of preservatives and/or salt and sugar.
Well, how are herbs? You know, if you dry something properly, you can even dehydrate fruits. You know, bananas go bad like in 24 hours. But if you dehydrate bananas, they can last for a long time. So there's a lot of different ways that you can preserve things. There's a cheap way, and that's preservatives. And then there are other ways that you can do it. And it has a lot to do with how you dry it, whether or not you keep the nutrients in it.
She says, gotcha, thanks.
Mm-hmm. Any other questions?
That's it.
Well, Joanne, thank you so much for helping. I mean, this is even an extra thank you. Thank you so much. And Robin, thank you for your help. Not just for your help in doing this, but literally for encouraging me to stay on this. I really believe that you saved my life.
Mm-hmm.
I do.
Mary, thank you for allowing me to serve you. And it is that anyone that gets to partner up with others in health understands that everyone gets a drop in their bucket. It is such a feel-good thing, and I've watched you transform and continue to, and it's an honor. And you would never bug me, by the way, when you said it. It's an honor. It is so fun when you get to rub shoulders with incredible people, and this is just a great tool, I believe, that helps connect us all, and we need that connection as important as anything else too. So I definitely think that it was a blessing for me as much for you. Thanks.
Thank you. All right, so don't forget, if you're interested in learning more or a free assessment, no obligation, you just email me your name and your phone number, and we will get into contact with you. I will bother Robin, and she'll help me because I'm still new at it. I know I'm not a bother, but this is hard for me to have someone on my side like this. I know that Nature Sunshine is multi-level marketing, but no one has ever coached me the way you are. No one. So, and I'm going to try to be as good of a coach as you are. Okay, Doc. Well, thank you all for coming, and anytime you have questions, call me, email me, and I'll be more than glad to talk about this. Okay, you all take care. Thanks, everybody. Bye-bye.